This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Kimberly Guilfoyle, and this just in. The Food Network has announced it will not renew celebrity chef Paula Deen's contract when it expires at the end of the month. Now, this is following her admission that she has used a racial slur in the past. Well, Deen is being sued for racial discrimination and has admitted during a legal deposition to using the slur. She apologized today and is asking for forgiveness.
I want to apologize to everybody for the wrong that I've done. I want to learn and grow from this. Inappropriate, hurtful language is totally, totally unacceptable. I've made plenty of mistakes along the way, but I beg you, my children, my team, my fans, my partners, I beg for your forgiveness.
Okay, so we're going to go through some of the facts of this, but let's bring it around the table, which is, this is something she admitted to doing in the past, not something that she said she's done currently or anything that she specifically said to an employee. This lawsuit is based on family members, etc., other employees of her business, and during this legal deposition, she was asked if she has ever used some racial slurs, and she spoke truthfully and said she had, but it was quite some time ago. So is this apology enough? Greg, should she be forgiven? And, what do you think about the fact that the Food Network has now let her go, canceled?
Well, I've looked at her cookbook, and she has some unusual meals in there. She has a cheeseburger with a cheese patty in between 2 donuts. So I don't know how she could be racist if she's trying to kill so many white people. But it does make you wonder what she calls blackened chicken when she's alone. Wow. But you know what? What I love about, she claims that she is a victim of prejudice, and when you look at that tape, apparently it's because everyone thinks she's an Oompa Loompa. She's got to hold back on the makeup. But she's begging forgiveness, and we're a forgiving country, right? Aren't we a forgiving country?
Can someone remind me why I went to you first on that?
It's
Can
Friday.
I get a mulligan? Is this Mulligan Friday? Okay.
That's racist. I am not Irish.
Thanks,
Bowling, I want to give you a chance to speak up because you have not done enough television today.
No. Look, very nice lady, great family. The sons are fantastic. She's a fantastic chef, but you just don't make a mistake. You don't use that language and say, oh, it was a mistake. There's a reason. Look, I think the Food Network did what they had to do, and I frankly don't have any sympathy for her. Sorry.
But she didn't do it on the show. She didn't do it in the past. So what she's saying is, I'm sorry for things that I have said privately. This, where she's referring to the fact where she said use a racial slur, is in a private conversation.
Can I ask you a dumb question, Kimberly?
A private conversation with her husband.
Can an attorney ask you if you've ever used an F-bomb with your husband in the bedroom? Can they have the right to ask you that question?
The right to ask me? Or anyone?
Well, anyone. My point is, it's got to be where there's smoke, there's fire, and it has to be deeper than just her saying to her husband an N-word one time.
She's being sued by, no, it's because she just admitted she said it in the past. It's not even relevant to the case that she's being sued for because she's not even the one who's alleged to have committed the racial discrimination, but she's the head of the company and the deep pocket. And the woman who is claiming the racial discrimination is a Caucasian female.
They can be offended too.
You're absolutely right, but that's the background, the facts of it, just so we kind of just hash it out to have a meaningful discussion.
Well, clearly she feels like she did something wrong, or else she wouldn't have done that weird YouTube video with all the, Tammy Faye Baker makeup on.
And she apologized.
It was the most insincere apology I've seen. And I have met her sons. I don't think I've ever met her. You can like somebody and still think that what they were doing was really wrong. Plus, she's also accused of allowing this type of racist joke, racial slurs.
What else?
And also allowing pornography in the workplace. So she builds herself as she's a major leader. She is a brand. She is responsible for this type of behavior. And it sounds to me like at least she thought she needed to say an apology on a YouTube video.
Bob, is she responsible if she allowed this type of conduct, this culture to go on at her company?
Well, let me just say that she also said that she made jokes about Jews, gay people, black people, and rednecks. Now that pretty much covers the territory.
No short people.
No Chinamen.
She didn't get any short people.
Oh my gosh!
The pornography in the workplace thing, I think, is probably a bad rap personally. But the rest of this, she should have been gone a long time ago. I'll tell you one thing: if she can hear this, she should give me a call because she might want to go with me to a couple of places. If you don't mind
meetings,
saying
you mean?
Meetings, yeah.
Meetings. Yeah. That's what I mean. But I mean, I got to be honest with you. I never heard of this woman before. I don't ever watch food channels. I mean, the whole thing bores me to death.
Your definition of a food channel is your throat.
Well, because he doesn't like to watch it. He just likes to eat it, right?
But you know, can I point out? I have to defend. I'm not really defending the idea of pornography in the workplace, but if everybody,
you kind of are. You have a weird
everybody
smile
who
on your
condemns this is honest, pornography in the workplace is a huge issue in every workplace.
But if she's the boss and she's allowing the pornography,
it's gross that they're cooking while they're watching it.
Yeah.
That kind of grosses me out.
Also, one of her employees at one of the restaurants said that he heard her use some of this language as well.
Okay, well, that's a fair point. So, but the only thing she admitted to legally under oath is that she used this derogatory racial slurs.
A lot of smoke. I got to assume there's some fire there at some point. So,
and she told her husband what happened. Yeah. Hey, listen, look, this is the decision they had to make. They might have even more information. We're going with the news as we know it right now, what's been confirmed, and we can say that she's been let go.
She does have a point that is one that, Bob, you could probably relate to, which is that she says, quote, I can't myself determine what offends another person. Remember, there's been times when you had to apologize for things, and in the commercial break, like, why do I have to apologize for that? Why is that offensive?
Yeah,
now, some of this stuff sounds obviously offensive, but
like the N-word.
Well,
I never. That's one thing.
No, but that's one of the accusations that she was using the N-word. So I think she probably has a good idea.
But at what
point, guys? I'm just saying, how is it then? Tell me, Dana. Maybe you know. Is it relevant for her to be fired from the Food Channel today for something she claims she said and didn't say anymore 20 years ago?
Just imagine if Lois Lerner worked at the Food Network. She would not be placed on administrative leave and get to access her computer and get all the benefits and the pensions. The Food Channel, a private corporation, says, you're out of here.
They can do what they want.
The government, it's completely different. If you're in the government, you can do all sorts of terrible things to other people and target people for their beliefs or their content of their thoughts with regards to the Tea Party. Comes the government, you're safe.
But you know,
in the private corporations, they fired her.
Ricky Bobby,
honestly believe, like Eric said with her smoke, you think she just stopped using it 20 years ago? I mean, or did the rest of this stuff? I mean, honestly,
we haven't even brought up what she wanted as an ideal wedding. The plantation style wedding, which is probably the most offensive part, which was using black men
with black men waiters in white suits and black bow ties.
So there's a lot of
one of those guys holding the lanterns out front too, right?
Okay, Bob. So as somebody who has a lot of experience in begging for forgiveness, do you think that she should be forgiven? Do you think this apology was sufficient?
No, because I would have said that's true about most of the other things she said, but when it comes to a racist joke like that, using racist comments, that's where I draw the line. I think everybody should be gone.
Meaning, regardless of if she's used it in the past in a personal conversation, are you being more specific about her workplace and the fact that she was allowing this type of thing to go on?
I would forgive her about the pornography thing because I'm the last person to get into glass house and all that. But I just think you can't cross that line. And I don't believe it was 20 years ago. People who I know who do use that are constantly doing it. I mean, they're not.
But Bob, how about this? So she's under oath, okay?
Yeah.
She admits to that. If she was going to lie about other times that she's used it, why did she admit to it from 20 years ago? Why didn't she just say, no, I find it offensive and I don't ever use
She
that?
said under oath, I did it 20 years ago. Nobody followed that up and said, well, did you do it 10 years ago? Did you do it last year? Have you ever done it? But since the 20 years, I don't buy it.
And the Food Network, they're not worried about Paula Deen so much. They're a profit-making organization. She was going to bring down their reputation. So do you really need that headache when you could find a celebrity chef on any corner that could rise up and you could create a new star?
I hate to point out something, but there are some very important people historically in America who were senators who probably used the N-word many times, who were in the KKK
at a different time.
At a different, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true.
But what about Robert Byrd, the Democrat?
But there's the difference.
That's my point.
Oh, maybe you forgot the name and I helped you out.
No,
he was trying to be nice to the dead.
Can we just point something out, that there are two discussions? Should we hold Paula Deen accountable on a personal level, and did the Food Network do the right thing?
Right.
Did they have the right to do what they do? My contention is, yes, they did the right thing. They did what they had to do to make sure that their viewers aren't offended by what Paula Deen said. Fine, free market, capitalism. fire her, get rid of her. Whether you want to hold her personally accountable, that's another discussion.
Right, there's two separate issues
Everyone
going
deserves
on about her own
forgiveness if they're
personal
sincere and
responsibility. Sorry,
asking
Dana,
for
go ahead.
I think every person deserves forgiveness for all manner of things, except for major crimes against people. But
And dogs.
yeah, dogs. I mean, do not touch the dogs. So I'd be willing to forgive. She's got some other problems, though. There's some. Remember when she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes?
Yes.
And one of the questions from a lot of her fans or other viewers and critics in the media was, okay, if you have had this disease, why have you not done something about it? And you're pushing all these types of food on people. On the same day, though, she got endorsed by one of the big diabetes drugs. And then the question was, well, did you do this for the money? So I think that the Food Network, maybe it was one of those things that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
But then she went on a big diet and she put her sons on a diet.
Right, because it becomes like the whole thing.
Healthier living.
But listen, forgiveness,
Butter.
Lord knows I've had to ask for forgiveness for so many times. And
weekly
people are
basis.
forgiving, and my faith is about forgiveness as well. But in this situation, it is intolerable to allow that to go forward. And I think the Food Network had every reason in the world, because why are you going to have to put up with this? And they're going to hear about it after this case is over. It's going to carry her around. She ought to get with Tammy Faye Baker and start an amusement park.
Yeah, but you know what? She's extreme. Guys, just keep in mind for a second, this isn't somebody who has sort of marginal popularity. She's hugely popular. She has a tremendous following. She's been a very successful businesswoman. Is there going to be fallout for the Food Network?
If you're a Christian, you'll forgive her. Move on. If she's sincere, you forgive her. But the Food Network is completely in the right and in doing what they did.
And the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
I've heard that before.
And she can get a job at Al Jazeera.
It's like really, it's like hardly anything.
Al Jazeera.
Completely unnecessary. You know, we're having a serious discussion about race and culture, and you focus on me. I don't know. I'm out of here.
Short jokes.
Yes.
She didn't make fun of short people.
Yeah.
All right.
I bet she did.
Okay. Well, let's not sandbag
I don't
her
want
at
to. I
this
don't
point.
want
Let's
to.
see
I
what
think
happens
he really
next.
likes her.
Huh?
No,
I think you like her.
I'm moderating the A block, and I'm trying to keep it going.
I can't believe you said before the show started you really agreed with her points. I thought that was shocking. Shocking.
Disaster.
You just sound like a defense lawyer for
Run
this
the
woman, by the way.
Bowflex commercial. No, I didn't. Hello, I'm
You
going to
did.
represent both sides. See what happens around here?
I guess there is
What's gonna
two
happen
sides
next?
to evil.